All right. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. We're here for Season 5, KOD League. And I'm joined by Rapmore. How's it going, my man? Welcome back.
Pretty dang good here from sunny Austin, Texas. A cool 90-something freaking degrees.
Holy cow. Is there any way that we can cool things off? This match is not going to make it any cooler. These guys are already firing off with the band picks, early Omni pick. Never mind. Well, while they're picking, right, and we can analyze some of this, man. What's new with you? It's been a while since we've done this. In fact, I don't think we've ever had a chance to do casting before. I mean, I've cast some of your matches in the past where with Austin Dota 2 and you know, with some other events. Man, it's been a while. What's the latest and greatest?
The latest and greatest. Let's see here. Well, hopefully, looking to get into whatever next Austin tournament you guys pull up, because those are always a blast. But other than that, as far as like non-Dota things go, looking towards medical school, hopefully in the future, looking to apply, but it's a rough road and interspersed with a lot of Dota in the meantime.
Yeah, that's a very difficult path to go down for sure, man, because it requires you to juggle a lot of things. But anyway, I wish you the best of luck and all that. This match is going to be a lot of fun. I hope we can really pull things together here as we, you know, kind of dust off all the casting. Like, it's been a big break for me. It's been a while since I've come in here to do this. What's your Twitter handle? Where can people find you, man?
You can find me at INS_Ratmore, and I post just about never. But if you tweet to me, you know what? I'm gonna spam you. I'll give you like 10 mentions back.
Make sure you follow him. INS Rapmore, that's where it's at. I'm RBEPete. We're here together. Season 5 KOD League. Team Bolivia versus Stars Esports. This is just going to be a best of one for this match. And we're seeing the band picks come out. Omni Knight, Lena. We've got Nyx Assassin, Viper already taken out here. Setting the tempo for some picks. Team Bolivia does not want physical damage to be prevented in this case. And they don't like that big burst damage from Lena. So maybe, just maybe, will they be going for some strong physical damage from them? Radiant, not necessarily. It's too early to really tell what's in the thought process. But I like to theory craft a little bit. Oh, what a strong opening pick.
Yep. Very common now. First pick Night Stalker, just a big, beefy guy that can pretty much just walk around the map and do what he wants for the first like 10 minutes, regardless of who you pick.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as Night comes around, I mean, people are picking into it. You know, he wants to have that added extra movement speed and attack speed. It really does change the tempo of the game, especially, you know, 4 or 5 minutes in, and you're already having to find a safe space and hide beyond the towers. You can't sit on top of the towers.
There's 8 or 9 hero running around at 4 minutes in. You're like, crap.
Yeah, that right there is facepalm. You know, you don't want to get caught. You've got to leave. You actually have to leave the tower. You can't even sit underneath it because his ability to be able to ambush is very strong. A lot of teams see that in the open qualifiers for TI7. There's been numerous times. I mean, he's one of the most played heroes, I would say, in the top 15, 20 heroes that have been picked for the open qualifiers, and rightly so. The vision, later on, if he picks up the Aghanims, that right there continues that momentum building that happens for a team early game. And so if you want to have a strong early game, Night Stalker is a go-to pick. Anyway.
Now, quick question. How much do you think did Night Stalker's new ability on his E to fly kind of play into his more recent picking? Because I'm sure people have discussed the crap out of this, but I haven't really, heard too much about it. He was pretty niche until that patch, and then maybe it's the playstyle of teams, or maybe it's just that being that powerful, giving him free pathing for 2 seconds.
Well, as long as he can, the mobilization, really, the increased mobility, being able to move in from, like, especially in the mid lane, that makes it really easy for him to gank right above the tower, come down from the Ancients on the Radiant side. He can even do it on the Dire side. In this case, since he's going to be on the Dire side, that mid lane is going to be very vulnerable, and it's the most vulnerable place for that new trait, that new ability for him to just devastate people, come in seemingly out of nowhere, and no one likes that early into the game. So it's going to be abused, and it's one of those things that I feel like teams that reasonably like to play aggressively from minute one, Night Stalker is going to be a go-to hero.
And they picked the Shadow Fiend, which I would say is pretty weak at getting away from something like that, but nowadays when mid lane's kind of a 2v2 half the time anyway, if not more, definitely could see if that's position 4 Clockwork or any other support being there to kind of bail him out at any given moment.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend is dependent on that spell casting. Maybe not so much late game, where the right click gets a little bit more fierce, and he's able to really punish people from a distance. But if Night Stalker closes the distance, throws in the silence, I mean it is the longest duration silence spell in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, what is it? It's
that and like Techi's blast off. I think those are both like I think around the same, like 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's absolutely bananas. It's like eight seconds, you know, for yeah. So anyway, that's not good in any scenario for most heroes in this game, but especially for Shadow Fiend. You know, if he's gonna raise, if you're just gonna go toe to toe on that one, Night Stalker's gonna win in most cases. And in a best case scenario for both heroes, I would give that win to Night Stalker as long as you're, you know, within 20 minutes of the game starting.
Right.
10 seconds remaining.
But anyway, the ban picks out Queen of Pain, now out Terrorblade. See you later, guys. Stars Esports, they know that a mid lane is still available for Team Bolivia, so they go ahead and just take them right out. Get rid of heroes that they feel could be a strong opposition to Shadow Fiend. We know Shadow Fiend's going to go mid. Clockwork more than likely in the off lane. Sand King perhaps doing some jungling there. Night Stalker is going to be helpful in that case. Get that added vision. Know when they're going to go do some jungle ganks. Does this open up an opportunity for a bounty hunter? Do we see maybe a Ricky? Something that can be a little bit aggressive on the dire side jungling and slow down that free farm.
I'd love to see something like that. I always love like the early game aggression, no matter what form it comes in, and Invis heroes, level 1 Invis heroes are the perfect way to just start ramping it up immediately. You never know where they're coming from, so a million different opportunities and angles of attack there.
Yeah, so let me know if, for whatever reason, in the stream, anyone in chat, if you hear this and for whatever reason you can't hear myself or the co-caster, just give me a shout out in chat. I want to make sure you guys are enjoying this to its maximum potential. Anyway, back to the game. Juggernaut, see you later, buddy. That physical damage, again, they really want to go with something else here. They know that is a good way to be able to lock down Night Stalker. Yeah, he can run as fast as he wants all day, but that Omni Slash is going to stick right there with him like a fucking pest. So what better way to ensure the Night Stalker has a good survivability rate than to take out one of his counter picks? Yeah. So anyway, Jakiro pickup now on deck. This is more zoning. It looks like we've got some zoning really happening here for Stars.
Clockwork.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like it. I like the team comp that they're building here. If they can't handle the one-on-one, they're betting that their team fight is going to be more superior. But who knows? With a well-placed epicenter, I mean, that could be devastating for the Radiant side for Stars.
Absolutely. I'm really trying to... I see the Juggernaut, and I'm really trying to figure out exactly what the other bans are. Well, Queen of Pain's pretty strong. Terrorblaze is generally pretty strong. What about Viper? Is that kind of common here? Or I don't see a lot of Viper banning.
No, I don't usually. I mean, but Viper would have been really helpful for Stars at this point. They had that, especially in an Ursa pick. So it's strange to see it.
And good against Night Stalker, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Any melee hero, essentially. Anything that's, you know, got to get in really close, Viper is gonna punish it and do a lot of poison damage.
5 seconds remaining.
But we're here with Jakiro and Clockwork paired up. There's a significant amount of magic damage coming from Stars. They could layer on top of that and, you know, maybe pick into, who knows, a Rubik or there you go. There you go. So I'm not sure who's going to alternate here in the off lane, or if instead, you know, that maybe they'll throw him in the safe lane and put a Legion, you know, an LC inside the jungle. I'm not sure what Stars is thinking at this point, but it looks like they're definitely doing something outside of what I'm used to seeing. I normally don't see a Darkseer or Clockwork paired up together, but because if you're gonna throw your ion shells out there, you want to make sure it hits something. Clockwork, you know, he's zoning people out. Jakiro zoning people out, and Clockwork
and Darkseer are incredibly good at level 2 together. You surge the Clockwork, nobody can get away from a Clockwork that has a Q on that's about to cog you with an Ion Shell. I mean, anybody but, I guess, what, Sand King is just dead.
Yes. Yes. Sand King at this point is the only one who'd be able to get away from those cogs. And if someone gets stuck inside there and you Ion Shell Clockwork, yeah, I like what they're doing here. That is definitely a notable combination for, especially for the melee heroes. Venomancer now stacking some of those Plague Wards. I've been noticing a lot during the qualifiers, the open qualifiers, that Plague Wards have just been devastating towers. People have been split pushing. You forget that Venomancer is there most often because you're not worried that he's going to be this heavy contender, this heavy hitting hero late game. But if you leave him alone long enough, you realize your lane has completely disappeared and you've lost both towers, and he's hammering away at your tier 3, and you've completely forgotten about it.
Yep. And one of the best things I think about Venomancer is that he's kind of effective at both farming and team fighting almost no matter what when they play him in the higher core roles, because you're gonna, by level 7, you're gonna be able to get farm. It doesn't matter where you go, you can throw wards down and farm anything. You don't need items of any sort really. Once you get a Veil, you're a master team fighter, like almost regardless of what happens. You could go, I mean, obviously you don't want to go in alone, but you do so much damage on your own with Veil, Q, and ult that your team can pick up the pieces from there.
All right, the Trolls being banned out, and last pick, the Oracle also out as well. There's a support is definitely needed for Bolivia, so they're just trying to make the read on that one. Stars,
10 seconds left.
I'm not sure what's a hard pick for this one. Again, as a good key support, I mean, Rubik is still an option here. There's some really good spells that they can steal, things where, Rubik can turn things around, especially on the cogs, especially on, I'm not going to say hook shot is something I would want to take, but there you go. There's a good reset button for any team engagement or initiation.
Now, Team Bolivia obviously thought that Stars was going to go for some sort of a carry as they banned the Trolls, so that could be the case, although a position 5 Jakiro, seems kind of rough, but he does have a lot of setup.
The item arrangement is going to be challenging for him. Because really his income is going to be extremely low if that's the case. I'm assuming it's going to be a position 4 Clockwork and maybe position 3 on Dark Seer, because they'll want that Dark Seer to be leveled quite well, and Mechanism more than likely as soon as possible on him. The needed durability for Clockwork, I think, is going to be paramount in this case. So you're dealing with poison damage. You're dealing with several stuns. You're dealing with a Night Stalker that can silence. So if he's silenced, he's not going to be able to use any of these buffs, these abilities to keep himself, this survivability. So nice Weaver pickup at the end to seal the deal here.
A Lincoln's as fast as possible, buddy, because Night Stalker is going to be silencing you. But barring that, he's a great pick.
If Weaver's going to be safe lane paired up with Clockwork, that is certainly a possibility. I mean, maybe it is a position 5 Darkseer shielding up the Weaver in a lane up against a Tidehunter in the off lane. On the dire side, up against the Tidehunter would be quite devastating for Tidehunter. He's not going to get much farm on that one, especially if Weaver's continuously putting on pressure. But, in this case, I think a melee hero with the Ion Shell, I don't know, there's lots of different things that they can do with this. But I do like the theory craft. Let's see who's going to be playing. Okay, Brajo is going to be playing on the Night Stalker for Team Bolivia, and Jakir is going to be playing on Sand King. Bichito is going to be playing on Ursa. Saga with the Venomancer, Black Star on the Tidehunter. Over for Stars Esports, Ned's on the Clockwork, Soothes on Shadow Fiend, Little King playing a Jakiro, Zero on Darkseer, and Wob will be playing on Weaver.
And that's a huge missed opportunity for Team Bolivia, letting Little King get the Jakiro when their Jakir is playing Sand King. This is a mix-up.
Oh, we got a little connection failure here. Let's hope nobody got removed from the game.
I think that's a Dota bug that's been going on for a little bit. I've seen that plenty of times recently.
Okay.
So I think we should be good.
That's good to know. It's good to know. But help me out here. Anybody in chat, if for whatever reason, if there's any continuity issues with the stream, please speak up and let us know. We're going to have to let these guys get back in. Meanwhile, let's make some quick adjustments to my audio here so you guys aren't getting So you guys are getting more of Rap more than you are the game volume. All right, let me know. Give me any input and feedback if for whatever reason something isn't going as planned. Oh, but let's see where we're at today. Esports world. This is a good opportunity for some esports news if you guys want it. Oh no, let's not. Let's get right to it, guys. But it's very glad that all of you could be here today. KOD League Season 5. I'm RBEPete, joined by Ratmore. Together, we are undeniably sexy, both from Austin, Texas. You know that's right. Central Texas is where it's at, guys. All right, we're going to let him do a restart.
If you want to try to deny it, come meet me, 1500 East Riverside Drive.
Oh, jeez.
Deny to my face, fools.
Deny. Even giving your deets.
Clockwork spat out cogs right outside the fountain. Classic. Shadow Fiend is going to eat him up. I don't know why he's doing it outside of the fountain, though. That's free mana.
Oh, man. Oh, what a troll, man. What a troll. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Night Stalker. I do like the added vision. It's one of my favorite heroes to play. Ursa will benefit from that for sure. Any heroes with the a Blink Dagger. So the Blink Dagger that goes on Tide Hunter, and that's going to be a key play. That vision. Again, I'm going to be saying this over and over again and probably get really redundant here. But map awareness is so overlooked by a lot of these teams, or a lot of these up-and-coming teams that are trying to get themselves prepared for higher-level competitions. And so I don't know if anybody saw that Reddit post from earlier today. It was a Dota 2 Reddit post that got pretty popular, about a guy that used his second monitor and blew up his minimap and threw it on his second screen so he could really keep an eye on all of the magic that was happening.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here. So I don't know if he used OBS or XSplit or something, but did a screen capture of his minimap and threw it up there. So anyway, there's a little tip for anybody who has a second monitor and wants to help keep that map awareness nice and strong. Meanwhile, lane arrangements. Looks like Darkseer will be in the off lane on the Radiant side.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And the engagement right there.
A little bit caught out, but he can pretty reliably get out.
He's got a chance to Burrow Strike off the ledge. Loses a little bit of mana. Did he open up with the Burrow Strike? Yeah, he's got it. Doesn't use it.
He must have just completely miscalculated how far he could go across that cliff there.
What an interesting, it's a freebie. Okay. We're giving away freebies today, apparently.
What a kind team in Bolivia.
All right, so Venomancer with the mid all by himself. Ned moves in with the cogs and holds on to him. Shadow Fiend gets a couple of freebies. A couple of freebie right clicks.
From those, and yeah, 18 souls already off the bat. Wait, what?
How in the hell?
Dang.
Interesting. Oh, so he did get 12 off of popping out this Sand King.
Okay. Yeah, getting that last hit.
Yep.
Wow, how crucial, because now he's just dominating.
It is. Those last hits are going to be really easy. Up top, Stars put on the Ion Shell. He's trying to dodge his way through. The Burrow Strike catches him just as he leaves the trees, and that's another one. Going down, ties it up 1-1. Minute and 15 seconds into the match, and Clockwork's going to make his way up top. Try to provide some additional cover fire there on the tower.
This is what I've been waiting for. I really want to see these two heroes. Now, it's going to take a little bit of leveling from the Clockwork, but I really want to see these two guys combo together. Look at that.
Up top, yep, the Cog's going to lock him in. He's got two inside the Ion Shell, just casually walking around. Ned getting that, yep, boost him out. Guachito missing.
Shadow Beam going down.
Nice pick off mid lane. Up top, the Ion Shell burning away. Pachito chasing him back the tower. They're going to have to find some cover. Shadow Fiend making it back mid lane. Pulling off the bottle now. Nope, no bottles yet, but he did pick up the brown boots instead. So he's not rushing bottle yet. He wants that extra movement speed, which is going to, especially as he has those extra souls, some extra physical damage. And Venomancer's not going to like that because as he builds into the Plague Wards, well, let's see where he spec'd. So he has 1 in Plague Wards, 1 in Gale. The movement speed, slowing that down, it's not going to be as effective now that he picked up the boots already at 2 minutes in. That's going to help him out significantly. And a lot of people underestimate that, how effective getting your brown boots right as soon as you can, especially for supports. You're going to be more effective in trying to gank anybody. You're going to be more effective at needing to escape if you need to get away. I mean, there's just the list of benefits just goes on. And you notice, if anybody ever watched like Purge or anybody do their, people pay them to do their reviews and they go and watch replays of other players. Like, oh man, sometimes it's a cringe fest. And I don't like to be a complete prick, but I mean it's just fun to watch occasionally as players learn the game. I don't want to be one of those guys. But anyway,
so
nice bro strike.
Started to have some problems. No support here mid since he got those early souls. I guess he thought he was good. Now the Clockwork's going to come in finally, but they're going to be able to harass him pretty easily now with that 50% slow plus thank you. Kind of stunning. Not a lot of Shadow Fiend can do about that until he's level 13, level 3 Shadow Rays at least.
Well, Radiant's keeping control of last hits and denies currently. Ursa's in third with 10, but Weaver and Shadow Fiend are a good lead. And for poor Venomancer, not doing so hot here mid.
That Venomous Gale on the Shadow Fiend actually cost him quite a bit, 125 mana, a third of his pool, and that's mana that could have gone to wards.
Yeah, lane control would have been ideal at this point, especially with Venomancer. Just push the lane, take that early tower, give your team that early gold. Clockwork getting into position here on the dire side, finding the Sand King. Bud throws the cogs, destroys it, and gets out of there. He's inviting him to leave so he can get hit by one of those cogs. But that engagement's just gonna go foul, and they're gonna split and go separate directions here. Taking back control mid lane, Jakiro placing necessary vision. No, he didn't place any vision. He's got some wards in his stash. Oh, interesting. Jakiro's down here dancing.
Going for the steal. Dancing steal.
Oh, Shadow Fiend.
Venomancer's just gonna fall.
He's really just farming Venomancer at this point.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, yesterday, the very quick game between Overpower and Stars also had a Shadow Fiend that completely dominated the mid lane, correct?
Yeah, yep. It was destroyed. He had 3 kills right off the bat after the Roshan pick-off. And then it was already 6-1 once that had completely resolved. And they went back to their lanes. Oh, man, we need to... I was trying to record a replay, just a little highlight to capture that engagement, because that was just bananas, man. I mean, I love early starts like that for a game, a less than 1 minute Roshan. I mean, there was still 40 seconds left before the game even began. And they went in for the Roshan pick. Anybody want to watch that VOD? The VOD is available if anybody wants to go watch that real quick. It's from yesterday's match between, I think, Team Bolivia and
Venomancer's going to do what Venomancer is like to do and just run off into the jungle. Give his Sand King a little bit of experience mid. Just probably not going to get many last hits. Oh, he's just going to completely not get it.
Yeah, this is a better place for Venomancer to be at the moment.
Yeah.
Take the camps, try to recoup your losses for mid lane. He's at 15 CS and already at 40 for Shadow Fiend.
The fact of the matter is, Ursa's the only one on their team really getting significant farm, and he's not going to be able to do it alone. He'll need significant
not alone.
setup against a Clockwork, against Jakiro, a Darkseer, a Weaver. A lot of mobility, a lot of disruption. The Sand King's underleveled, he'll be just taken care of pretty quickly.
Alright, Power Tread's ready to go for Weaver. And he's holding onto a Blightstone with a completed Magic Wand. Weaver in second place with last hits. getting significant farm, halfway to level 6. I mean, he's going to be ready for their looking for some pickoffs. Because I'm sure Shadow Fiend can just continue this momentum that he's gained. He's got a significant lead amongst the rest of the players in the match.
I almost can't believe that he's only level 6 with 40 last hits and 30 denies. That's really destroying this lane right now.
Yeah,
obviously.
he's close. He's really close. He's like 75% of the way to level 7 now. Ring of Achilles now. Bottle. He's holding on to that. Still got a Fairy Fire just in case he needs it at this point. I don't think he has. He hasn't even used his healing salve yet, and I think he's had that since the start of the game. And they're already 5.5 minutes in now. Let's check out Jack. Jack now with the brown boots, ready to go. Just a stout shield in the mask for Darkseer up top.
Yeah, probably just. I mean, you really don't need that much, and he's kind of. It looks like even right now the Clockwork's actually well. Yeah, 15-1. You would think he would have a little more. Does he have something on the courier? Guess not.
No, courier's empty at the moment.
Oh no. He has this completed soul ring on their courier. I see.
So, all right, question. With Clockwork, in this case, since he is going up against Ursa, getting Rocket Flare may not be that important since the matchup doesn't. Rocket Flare is great if you're going up against a 2 or a tri-lane.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I think you want 1 level of it, probably by level 4, just to grab it for the vision's sake.
For the vision to help with last hits.
But
yeah,
no, I would agree. You don't need it in lane. It's his other 2 skills are wonderful for both going in and running away, which are pretty much the only 2 things that he's going to be doing here.
Right. He's still only level 3, which is a scary place to be in, up against an Ursa.
I think as a position 4, it's. I think it's acceptable. He's on level 3 at this point. Everybody else is doing really well on the map, so what little rotations he's done has obviously been a little helpful.
Yeah, he's not too far behind.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Phase boots are available for Ursa, so he can look for a pickoff. Not going to win in this particular scenario. Oh, jeez. Oh, I hear that's going away, and that it was only for the battle pass.
I know, yeah. I'm gonna miss them, to be honest. I like it. When I first heard the crying baby sound, I was like, okay, that's. I will pay levels by the end of this compendium if I don't have that crying baby sound. But then I realized.
Patience from Zoe.
Like most things in life, man.
I definitely like where things going. The prize pool now up to 21 million. Last I checked. $21 million, so we've already surpassed last year's mark, and we've still got a little over, we've got almost 30 days to go. Starting tomorrow, it'll be 30 days out from the event. Yeah. So if you have any interest, I don't know if anybody here is from the Austin area, but we are doing a watch party. It's going to be at the Alamo Draft House. We've got 2 theaters locked down for that. I think tickets are $25 to come watch. It's 5 hours. It cost a butt ton of money to rent out that place, and so I had to apologize to a bunch of people because they're like, fucking Pete, what the hell, $10 more than last year. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
I think for the length of time that you're going to be using the space, that's totally, or using the space as an individual, it's totally worth it, though.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of perks. I've got some t-shirts to give away. I've got some products that are going to be mailed down to us from some sponsors. So we'll be looking forward to some of that. We'll raffle some of that stuff off. That's not going to be any additional cost. We're not going to ask anybody to pitch in any more money. Just get your food, get your drink, treat Alamo nice, and we'll be able to sit down and watch a good finals. Grand finals is what we're aiming for. So it'll be 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. that we've got things slotted down. If anybody else has any events or news that is happening in the esports world and you need help getting that out, I do marketing for DreamHack currently, so we've definitely opened up the network to help get some information out there. We'll tap the full network to get it out. Just hit me up on Twitter at RBEPete. Let me know what events you've got going on. Let me know where in the world you're doing it, and we'll help promote it. No sweat off my back. I want this esports scene to thrive, and really that's how we do it. We've got to help each other out and find ways to just get the
Smoke
word
movement.
out. Yeah.
Going mid, it looks like, from Team Bolivia.
All right, they're looking for it.
Yeah, they're looking for it, and they can easily get him if he's caught out too far, but looks like he's prepared. Let's see. Oh,
look at the rotation coming in. He has him behind the tower. He's returning fire with the raise, but the Burrow Strike is there to be able to hold him down. Jakiro putting on some AoE damage as he breathes fire, and they're going to chase and catch Sand King on the exit. There's nothing he can do to get away from that one, but here comes a creep wave onto the tier 1. The Plague Wards are out, but he's going to continue to go away. Nice additional pick off there.
Bravo. Nothing the Night Stalker can do.
Tidehunter's now wide open. Continue to push down to tier 2, or the tier 1 rather. And they'll make the slow rotation down bottom to try to prolong the tier 1's life. But Venomancer's going to return to the jungle, and he's going to start farming up those ancient camps. I mean, that is really a good... I do like what they're doing with the Venomancer, allowing him to be able to rotate in mid just to keep the lane back. He knows he can't fight Shadow Fiend, so why the hell not just farm the lane? Get the experience, do it uncontested. Get your teammates to come in and gank Shadow Fiend as much as possible, as much as you can. If you can lock down that Shadow Fiend, it makes it very difficult for late game to be effective. Here we go. They hold on to him. Suits. He's got the Gale slowed him down. Bravo's in. It's nighttime. Night Stalker's really rushing in, moving in behind. The Burrow Strike right on top of it. They're both stunned. He uses that. He gets a little bit of health back when he eats it. Oh, but the cogs in there from Ned.
What a massacre.
Hold on. Look at him. He's so beefy.
Oh my goodness.
Shadow Fiend, he's so beefy. Oh, what a
It's one of the moments that definitely could decide a game right here, where they go all in on getting that Shadow Fiend.
Oh, he had full 15 stacks on the wand. That's where he got that other health from. I thought he ate his fairy fire. But I was like, what? He gained almost 10% of his HP. Where the hell did this come from? Anyway, answer. Question and answered. Anyway, 72 now. 7-2-2. Oh, what a English language. Almost 8 minutes in. We've got a good lead for Stars. The graph rising up in their favor for sure. XP also not too far out of reach for Team Bolivia. So Tidehunter's looking like he's just going to continue to build into this Blink Dagger. He's about a third of the way there. Well, more like 20% of the way.
6 of the kills for Stars, all sitting on the Shadow Fiend soldiers.
Already level 10.
Yep.
Going to pick up that 20 attack speed. And a nice pickup bottom lane. They're able to get Sand King and just completely counter his attempts. A Weaver and Jakiro.
Match. He's gonna be able. He's gotten a decent amount of farm for kind of the lot in life he was given. Grabbed an Iron Talon. He's got his mana boots up. 800 gold left over. He's not too unhappy with his lot in life, but
no. And the team fights haven't even begun yet. So I mean,
Right.
it is 8-2. But this team fight is really what it's going to come down to. As the towers, they start to isolate those and wanting to capitalize on some of these tier 1s. I mean, we've got all towers up still. Some good stacking here in the bottom between Jakiro and Weaver. But Night Stalker's going to make his rounds and rotate mid. Now keep this tower alive. Here comes Ned walking casually right up to the tower. But just that's enough to scare Night Stalker. It is daytime, so he has to be a little careful. Well, I say little. I say that lightly. It's not that big of a deal. But it does feel really good at nighttime to be able to move with such fluidity, man.
yeah, and the nerf to Night Stalker's daytime Q was actually huge. Having played the hero quite a bit with both. That's actually way bigger than is advertised, I guess you could say.
How big of a nerf was it?
If I recall correctly, it made it so the duration was nothing, and like almost an all game. It used to be 3 seconds, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. For the slow?
I want to say. And it was like reduced or something. Now it's just like a single second stun, pretty much. I mean, slow.
All right, big push here mid lane. We've got 4 on there. Weaver making the rotation in. Here it comes, the Tidehunter. He blinks and puts out the Ravage. The cogs are there. Sand King goes down. Tidehunter now down. They're going to go after Venomancer. He's really low HP. A nice squishy hero, easy target. And they're going to find him as he gets into the woods. Night Stalker doesn't have the benefit of the nighttime movement speed, but the Ice Trap is there to lock him in. Can they get this next one? Shadow Fiend is completely determined. He can sneak in that last hit. Gets the double kill. Now Wicked 6 free. That tier 1 now vulnerable as Ursa rotates back to base, but is not able to get there in time. I'm not even sure if he was in that engagement. At least not
Sand
for
King
too
just
long.
doing everything he can on the bottom lane, just getting what farm he can. A little bit of ship tower damage, but overall, Team Bolivia just came out really far behind that engagement.
Yeah, that was a good performance by Stars. They're up now by 6k gold. Oh man, CS count 112 for Shadow Fiend. We don't even need to pay attention to that anymore. We got he's now level 12 with Weaver at level 10. I mean, the gap here in some of the levels, Shadow Fiend is going to be really devastating for Night Stalker and Sand King. They're sitting really low, level 5, all the way at the bottom. But that's a significant gap.
Ursa does have his blink, and he's going to go for that Vlad's. I just don't, to be honest, I'm not sure what that blink's going to do at this exact moment. Who does he blink onto to kill? It's like the Jakiro is the only easy target, and that's if no one else is there to back him up.
That is a really good point. You want to use that blink now as a defensive item? I mean, is he going to use it to just keep away? I can understand needing to do that. I mean, they've got a lot of bonus movement speed. You know, they've got the Surge from Darkseer. You know, they can close the gap really quickly for Stars. Blinking into these fights while they're so far behind in gold and XP. I think you've hit the nail on the head on that one.
Both teams kind of posturing up on top, but really just I think Bolivia just looking to protect the tower and take a good fight if it presents itself, if anything, because no Ravage for, well, 15 seconds, so that could be the decider, really.
All right, up against, this is the second tier 1 push. Here comes the rotates from Sand King. And they've got full vision. They know what's coming.
No Shadow Fiend up there, though, and he's the main contender. 8 kills to his name.
And they're just going to let this one, they're going to continue to push. Nice hook shot right on top of Sand King, and he's able to burrow strike out of that one. And they're going to change targets, and they're going to try to go for the Weaver on that one. Nice quick kickoff. He's not able to time-lapse on that one. And quick takedown. As the Tidehunter goes down so quickly, Shadow Fiend gets there in time. Oh. Right there, the Requiem, and as he just destroys Night Stalker. Follow it up, get the Sand King as well. Who else is left? Venomancer and Ursa. Ursa looking for targets of his own, but he decides to peel away. It's not a fight that he wants to take. Shadow Fiend now holding on to the Hurricane Pike. Man, these fights are...
Tequila bottle 1 at what, 13 minutes, man. 14. He's a big boy.
Yeah, tier 1 now down. That's the second one. That gold acquisition, 7k now for Stars, 15-3, 14 minutes in.
Go for me.
This game is looking more and more like it's going to be over sooner than later. I mean, they've yet to pull off one significant team fight. I've noticed there's still a lot of hesitation from Team Bolivia. I noticed that, like, with the last engagement, Tidehunter kind of came in near the end of the engagement rather than getting in to help Weaver stay alive. Just the timing seems like that's a clear indication that there's some miscommunication happening on their end. We'll see.
Miscommunication, and I think I mean, you could see there's a lot of nerves here, given that the 2 times that they've really plowed into the Shadow Fiend, he's both survived and managed to rack up more kills. So at this point, I mean, if I were on that team, I'd be very divided personally about whether or not we even want to go in on that guy anymore. We weren't near him.
Yeah, that's a good point. You want to go in, you want to make the biggest bang that you can, but you don't want to leave yourself too vulnerable in this Shadow Fiend for sure. He's putting up a big fight. He's already at 9,800 net worth. Both him and Weaver combined. I mean, that's crazy. He's almost doubled Ursa's net worth, and Ursa's sitting at the highest, you know, valued hero right now on Team Bolivia. Giving a quick scout over the Roshan pit. Ned's just going to hang out there for a second.
Ursa does have his Morbid Mask plus the Blink, so it's a good time for him to potentially go for that kind of YOLO Roche. Not as YOLO-y as an Ursa, but still. Definitely something that you would love to have in this situation, given that you're so far behind. Any little advantage.
All right, make sure if you guys haven't placed your bets yet, make sure you go on to XBet. Use that promo code XKOD5 so you can get yourselves for your first deposit, and you're going to get a bonus $100 in there to bet with. So take full advantage of that, guys. Let them know. That's one of the sponsors. It would mean a lot to KOD League if you go ahead and take advantage of that. Find your pick your favorite here in Season 5 and go for it. Let's see what happens. Anyway, we're done with the PSAs. We're not going to inundate you guys too much with all that madness. But the Roshan pick off. They're feeling very hungry for an Aegis. They're getting ready for the smoke. They want to go. They want to contest this. They don't want to just let this go without doing something. I really appreciate the tenacity coming from Team Bolivia. Here comes Sand King, first one to reveal himself. They know he's there, and they're going to disperse. The Burl Strike gets absolutely nothing on the way in. Roshan now down 75% in, but they're going to go in for it. Shadow Fiend's going to be the first one. The Requiem, is he able to get it off? Yes, he gets it off, but Tidehunter is going to be the first one perhaps to go down. Manages to sneak away. Nope, there's the first one. There's a second. Ursa, next one. And without much to go, the Blade Wards are able to chip away somewhat the Ice Path. Getting stunned momentarily. Roshan just kind of wandering around here. They're looking for a chance to go in there. Ursa looking to steal Roshan and get the Aegis, and he does. Macropire getting their Venomancer to run away, but Epicenter over with Sand King not going to deliver on anything. There goes Jakiro, next to go down.
Wow.
Interesting.
Some signs of life.
What a turnaround.
That was great. After that first Miss Sand King stun, I was a little skeptical of their chances in this fight, but they just turn things around.
Yeah, somehow, Team Bolivia, they weasel their way in there. They get the Roshan. They get the Aegis. Ursa manages to survive.
800 gold the way of Ursa for Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. That's going to make him happy. Let's see what he's going to build into next. Oh, so he's looking like he picked up the Morbid Mask.
Shadow Fiend looking kind of cocky, going straight for the butterfly. I wonder if
nice hook shot. Over on the dire side. He's got Night Stalker logged in there. Tactical pause. He needs some help. He's like, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but I just got hit with a hook shot.
Get the admins in here for this. This is some handed puppy pause level shit.
Poor guy. Just got to switch it out, I guess.
So, Shadow Fiend, a complete monster, almost 200 CS. And now, granted, probably at least, what, 30 of those are Venomancer ones, maybe, I don't know, I'm just ballparking, but even so. Yikes.
Yeah, that's a challenge for sure. I didn't catch how long Night Stalker was hanging out there, so I'm not entirely sure how much lag he's being dealt with. But it's significant enough for having to change out PCs. I mean, what the hell? We're dealing with F1. He's got to pull into a pit stop, get his tires changed real quick. I like how Team Bolivia can just swap out PCs as they need to. That's
that Dota money, man.
That's next level stuff, yeah.
All Dota money.
Yeah, speaking of Dota money, we've got $1,500 on the line here for KOD League Season 5. And these guys are going to be fighting hard for it. They waste no time at all. So big props to all you tournament organizers out there that help put these things up. We really appreciate your efforts. Again, reach out to KOD League. Please follow. on Twitter. Can't say enough, guys. If you got social media out there, please give that follow, give the like, give the support. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. It helps with sponsors. So they want to know that you guys are paying attention. We know you guys love esports, and we want to continue its growth. And so that's one way to do it, and it's a real simple way to do it. It gets me every time.
Oh my god. That crying baby is almost exactly the most annoying noise that I could ever make when I'm playing on a team of like randos and somebody's just losing their mind. And I have nothing else to say, but Sand King, pretty poor. Halfway to his Blink Dagger. Let's see, Tidehunter choosing to go for the mech. I think that was a pretty good pick here.
It looks like Chikiro is going to be heading for the Yule Scepter here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's
He's a few more minutes away.
Amazing. I mean, it's amazing against Ursa and Night Stalker because, and you know, obviously self-heal.
Yeah.
Item here gives him a setup beyond just Clockwork because currently that's all that he has to try to set up a easy ice path.
Right.
The Shadow Fiend actually did put the BKB into his quick buy. What a good boy. Deciding to do the more responsible item pick, probably. Over going for the YOLO Butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Although he still might go for it first. He has that Talisman of Evasion. He's about halfway there. A little under.
Yeah, believe it or not, trying to manipulate the camera and do commentary at the same time, that shit is a challenge. This shit is not fun to do. Because normally we'll have a cameraman available to do this, but KOD League, we're dealing with some self-managed things here, guys. So please bear with us. Looks like Armand, poor guy.
I wouldn't call him too poor of a guy, as he has apparently bet on stars, and I think his odds are pretty decent here. So go Armand. I think things are looking up for you, man.
Absolutely. Overall. Yeah. Good work, man, placing your bets there. Again, we might be we might be speaking too soon in haste here. If Team Bolivia somehow manages to pull this out,
if that last team fight was any indication, I was pretty impressed by that, given how far they are behind just on their core heroes.
That's a great point. I mean, if they can do that at just 5 more times, I think this may be in the bag for Team Bolivia, but. It's an unlikely scenario. I don't think Stars is going to give up a Roshan pickoff like that again. They'll know to put some adequate vision out there. I mean, they did read. They did read when the Sand King showed up. Again, it makes me chuckle watching that blink burrow strike that just gave him absolutely nothing. But they did adjust. Stars adjusted. They spread out. They knew that the Ravage was coming. They knew that Venomancer was, probably gonna throw out his Poison Nova, and so I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different things here that went really well for Stars. They mitigated losing more than necessary, but they did lose the Aegis. They did lose Roshan, but they were able to get a couple of pickoffs in the process.
Wow, Shadow Fiend actually unpausing the game, right? Yeah. Huh. Oh, they did give him a GSC.
Interesting. All right, here comes Ursa. He's going to go for it, stuck in the Macro Pyre, and he's going to continue to chase through. But Chito's going to go down. He's going to pay for it. But the Aegis gets popped, and they're going to wait on the high ground. Team Bolivia wants to move in to provide the assistance. The Ice Path is down, but he blinks out just in time, avoids it. But they're missing a teammate from this point.
Yeah, they'll grab the clock, which is nice, but lose the Aegis for it.
But they're going to charge up mid lane. Somebody's going to provide that control there for Night Stalker. They do want him to continue the farm. Looks like Ursa might be managing that at the moment. But they're going to go ahead and go for it here in mid lane. Shadow Fiend right up against the tower.
It looks like Dire fortified their structure.
And as they get into position, the Ravage is off cooldown. So he will be able to make a play here. But he doesn't have a Blink Dagger on him. What do you do with his Blink
There's a
Dagger?
level 2 Ravage.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Just recently,
But a good deny.
Yeah.
A good deny in the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tidehunter, he doesn't have his Blink. Ah, there it is.
He's
Now
going for
he's
it,
starting to
slowly
build
but
in
surely.
for it. Yep. It'll be there soon. 20 minutes now in. And the rest of the players are just going to go back. Team Bolivia go back to farming. Hope the Night Stalker can get back into this game and switch over to a better PC. Apparently the plugs came out of the potato. That's weird. I normally don't use the potato jug, but a nice hook shot. They finish off Sand King. And now it's Darkseer adding 100 cast range. And an additional 200 mana now for Clockwork. But this tier 2 tower now up for grabs. Clockwork getting some necessary vision behind the tower. They want to know when Tidehunter does get his Blink Dagger. But fortunately for Team Bolivia, they don't know how long it's going to be before he gets that.
This is just
Tower has fallen.
not looking too great. They're just kind of taking whatever they want at this point. And yeah, I think it does come down to not having that dagger. I mean, Sand King as well, both of them just a little bit out of reach and not seeming to be able to get it in time for probably the next tower that
Night Stalker vulnerable. But they don't have any vision to know what he's in there. Welcome back.
Oh.
Quebrajo gets back into the game. The pit stop is complete. He managed to recover a PC somewhere. Or maybe he just did the Best Buy rental. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Best Buy rental, you get 30 days to return whatever you buy from Best Buy. So occasionally for events. Oh shit, I'm definitely not going to get a Best Buy sponsorship now, aren't I? Well, I mean, the managers tell you. The managers tell us, like, hey, if you bring it back within 30 days, then, you know, you get your money back. I'm like, all right, I'm going to borrow 50 monitors, please.
Sweet.
I need it for a LAN party.
Shadow sponsored by Best Buy.
That's right. I call it an incubation.
Nice.
It's like, we're going to put these back in the boxes. Like, I mean, people are looking at it. They're not touching the monitors, I mean, which is great. But I guess they do have a life to them, an overall duration of usage. I mean, I guess it does depreciate over time slowly. But man, what the hell am I talking about? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm kind of going off on into weird places now.
They're gonna have those Blink Daggers, I think, before they could even, yeah, very soon actually, on both the Tidehunter and the Sand King. That's gonna actually be pretty major. Blink on Ursa, Tidehunter, and Sand King. If they can catch stars out of position with some of those ults, set up for the Venomancer to get in there, Ursa to clean up, that could be incredibly devastating.
Yeah, they're going to have to be very coordinated, adequate vision. They do want to find stars in a vulnerable spot.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Defending these tier 3s is going to be critical here for Team Bolivia. They have to hold this high ground. They have a significant advantage at this point to do something, but will they make the play? The Blink Dagger not yet for Tidehunter, but here comes Venomancer and Sand King getting into position. The Rockets are there. They want to have that vision inside those trees. They want to know what's going on before they fully commit to taking up the tier 3. Here's a quick rotation. They're going to defend the tier 1 top. Oh, they're just from Weaver. Not the whole team, but they do split up. Shadow Fiend will go mid, and they'll just continue to push these lanes out. They have full map control. They feel like they've got a significant lead that they'll be okay losing 1 or 2 over the next few minutes. I'm not going to say that that's going to be a good thing, or that's going to be something they'll be able to do over the next, 6 or 7 minutes. Because as they continue to let this Ursa, Night Stalker, and hell, even Tide Hunter, the whole team, it's going to be harder to be able to keep this back, especially as they get closer to these towers and throw down enough Plague Wards. But they go ahead and make the attempt to take out the illusion. They get baited into that one. This tier 1 tower now under focus fire. But Stars comes in to clean things up and regain control.
Oh man, I want to see the Shadow Fiend get into it. He has the Butterfly, he has the Hurricane Pike. Once he gets BKB, that's going to be kind of the counter turning point to all these Blink Daggers. If he has fast enough fingers, there's just about nothing you can do to him. The Ursa's going to miss 35% of his attacks. All of this magic damage is going to do nothing for 10 seconds. And he's already so beefy. They might just wait to high ground for that.
Yeah, wait for the lanes to be pushed out, force Bolivia back into their base as much as possible. Regain control of the vision that they have, maybe deny some of these wards that are out there. I mean, lots of decisions to make. Stars fully capable of making the reads and knowing where the vision is, typically in the usual spots, but the vision has expired top lane. So they lose their obs ward. Oh, they do have one obs ward.
I guess Radiant fortified their structures.
Ursa's not too far from the MKB actually, so pretty timely pickup, having just completed that Butterfly a few minutes ago, if that.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But Stars continuing to hold on to the lead here. Gold and XP still in their favor. 26 minutes in now. 18-6. Bolivia will desperately want to turn things around, losing a teammate in the process, having to reconnect. That's devastating for any team. I don't care what league you're playing in. If you lose a teammate, even for 30 seconds, that could cost you big.
Very true.
But they're not going to give up on this one. They are really interested in protecting Ursa. I noticed they're not leaving him alone. They're staying fairly close to where he is. It's going to be a challenge to continue to gain the necessary levels that they need to be able to defend how strong this Shadow Fiend is now at halfway to level 20. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that +2 damage per soul is going to be pretty major. He's got... Once he gets that BKB, I think it's on. Now, the MKB was just picked up by Ursa, so this could be perfect. If they smoke up right now and go for it, looks like maybe that's what they're trying to do here. This would be the perfect timing. 3 BKB.
Here's the Blink Burrow Strike again. Doesn't catch anything on that one. The Ice Path doesn't connect, but Ursa's going to move in. He wants to get the Shadow Fiend. Here comes the Ravage, and they got a multi-stun. They're going to continue to focus down Shadow Fiend, and they catch him as he enters into the high ground. Is Ursa fully committed to this with Shadow Fiend? Maybe he's able to sneak away.
They're chasing him so
Night Stalker
hard.
able to finish him off as he explodes. There's the cogs. They're going to hold on to Viva. And completely push them back. Stars, they're on the defense now. They're trying to make the escape. The Ice Path being able to slow it down. Here comes Night Stalker off the ledge, catching the clockwork as he tries the exit. What an interesting turnaround. Shifting completely in this single engagement here at Roshan. And again, it starts out almost exactly the same way that it did last time with the Burrow Strike. Just doesn't connect with anything, but it's enough to get Stars to scatter. And apparently that's all they need.
Yeah, once again, I think that Bolivia completely called the timing on that perfectly. They went at the exact moment. I mean, obviously the Roshan's being contested, but just as far as the pickup on that Ursa, going right into the Shadow Fiend without BKB. If he had a BKB there, I think it would have been completely different. There's no way to lock him down. He can force staff into the back line. Was not available.
Now with the lane right up against a tier 3 in the top. It's going to force Team Bolivia to have to split and look for another angle of attack. But look at this casual outing over here. It's like they're on a date night. There's the Cogs. He's going to hold on to him. The Burrow Strike to the lower ground. Oh, he is still stuck on the high ground. The hook shot catches him on the edge. There's going to be no way to get away. Nice force staff down to the low ground. Using the Sandstorm to be able to get some cover, and he makes it to the Sanctuary. What a slippery bastard.
Now, how did he get the bug off him just then? Did Sandstorm purge the bug off? Where'd it go?
That's a good question.
I thought for sure they still had him with that bug, but nope.
He was able to be purged somehow, but he did get force staff off the high ground with the help of our buddy Venomancer, and he is holding on to Cheese currently inside his inventory, and Yasha ready to go. So they've got a goal. Team Bolivia, they want to take this top tier 1, and the teams are getting into position. You're ready to defend this as Stars. Wanting to be a little calculated on this one. They've lost 2 Roshan attempts. Giving up the Aegis, giving up the Cheese. But they're not going to give up this tier 1. They're in position. We've got ultimates ready across the board for everybody. And they make the attempt. Right up against the tower. Viva just chipping at it, blinking in. They're going in full speed. There's the Ravage that connects with 3. The BKB is activated, and this is where Shadow Fiend turns things around. The Requiem is out, and he's force staff closer. Closes the gap. The Macropyre helps chip away. Cabrajo goes down. Triple kill for Wob. Here it comes back. Ursa. Weaver is going to continue to focus them down. The hook shot. They've got him in the ice path. The Cogs are there just for good measure.
Goodness.
A double kill for Tsuds. Stars regaining that control that they've held on to for most of this game. They give up the Roshan, but they're not giving up the game.
The dual BKB is just doing way too much work against this team. Sand King ineffective, Tidehunter ineffective, Night Stalker mostly ineffective, Venomancer mostly ineffective.
Tower is under attack.
Essential. That's a key item up against Team Bolivia right now. That really does put them at a huge disadvantage. So much so now that they're going to lose the tier 3 tower, perhaps even the barracks. Nice blink Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, and hopes to keep him alive, but they know exactly where he is. Sood's just going to continue to focus down this barracks. They do find him, though, as he tries to exit. Night Stalker wants to make a run for it as well, but Clockwork's not going to give up. Nice full-range Ice Path on Night Stalker. Meanwhile, the barracks completely obliterated as the Ion Shells go out. They're going to let that creep wave just march its way in. That's going to be the first tier 3 to go down for this match. 32 minutes in now. Significant lead for Stars as they hold on to it. They lose a couple of fights here and there, but this game ultimately belongs to them. So for those of you who are just joining us now, I'm RBEPete, joined by Rapmore. And together, we're going to do some commentary for you for KOD League Season 5. Got $1,500 on the line for the top teams. This will cut into Dream League, which will be August 21st through the 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. For those of you who enjoy DreamHack or in the Atlanta area, let me know. I might be able to get you a deal on some passes. Yeah, let me know. Meanwhile, 33 minutes in, it's been one hell of a match so far. Mostly one-sided. Stars has held on to a majority of the goal and experience lead for this game. But Team Bolivia, they do know when to make the call to contest the Roshan picks, or the Roshan fight. Now, both times, able to get in there, take the Aegis away, take the Roshan and the Aegis away from Stars. And so I do have to give them some commends for that. They managed to pull that off twice so far. But they just can't win on the team fight. They can't push down any towers, at least not while Stars is there to defend it. They can't get through it. The BKB off Shadow Fiend, it was just too much. And the Ravage not able to hit it. Sand King not able to hit him. I mean, Night Stalker not even able to silence it. I mean, the list of spells
it's
that...
difficult
yeah.
to see what exactly Bolivia is going to have to do here. It's almost as if, I mean, the Ursa's going for his VKB, which is going to be pretty helpful, but it's almost like he needs a full basher after that even to be effective against the VKB, Weaver, and Shadow Fiend. There's just, I mean, he's the only force that can do anything against them, barring like somebody else getting a sheep or something. And I don't know how I'm going to deal with that.
Yeah, Suits just gets to walk into this base uncontested. There's really nothing that Team Bolivia is doing to stop this. Oh, man. There's Ursa at the well, needing to top off his mana before he gets in there, but they're just going to continue to chip away at this. Finally, they're going to make the call and move in there. The Ice Path is there to slow down Tidehunter. Gives Suits a chance to get in a couple of hits with the Blade Mail, able to delay taking any more of his health. But they're able to clean this up, but not without some losses. They do lose 1 Rax in the process.
Yeah, and that was just the Shadow Fiend alone just hitting on it. The Weaver just hanging back. And
all right, they're smoked up. The Blink, the Ravage is there, catches them before the BKB finally activates, and here comes the Requiem, throws it out there. Shadow Fiend able to secure that Tidehunter kill inside the cogs. The epicenter now going, but they're able to get Ursa as well. Their hard hitter going down. The rest of the team just being chipped away one after another. And a dominating speed for Garu. Night Stalker is able to sneak away from that one. They don't want to stick around any longer. Shadow Fiend is just punching so hard.
Yeah, with that Assault Cuirass now, it's dirty. He's got the extra damage per soul, the negative armor from the Assault Cuirass, a Butterfly to back him up.
And a good Ice Path. They secure that one. Unstoppable. Soothes is just running through these players. Saga trying to find cover under the well and finished off with the rockets.
With the plus 75 damage rockets there.
And there's Megas. This game slipping further downhill.
So GG called. I like this Bushido fight to the very end.
That's right. They're going to pull out their own blade and commit suicide just before the game is over.
See it.
But Sand King, he's just like a poor guy.
This is what you do, man. You save some face because you get a little bit more CS at the end, then you tell your team, like, look, look how much CS I got. What do you guys do?
My stats, bro. Look at my stats.
Oh, the BM pause. I love that. I'm a fan.
Oh, there it is. They're going to call this one. All right, so if you haven't placed your bets, you got to do it. You've got to get ready for the next match. So we've got one more coming up after this. Don't go anywhere. Stars Esports going to get the win on this. Is only a best of 1. And we'll go into our next match in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. I'm RBEPete, joined by Ratmore. And we're going to take a short break. And while we're waiting, make sure you guys go on to XBet. Go get your bets, or go place your bets, rather. And if you do sign up, you get a bonus $100 for your first deposit. So take full advantage, guys. Just drop a little money in there. Place your bets. Have fun with it. See how far you can go. Find your favorite team for Season 5 KOD League. And we'll be looking forward to seeing who comes out victorious. Any closing thoughts before we take a break, man?
No, just another dominating Stars victory, man. I'm enjoying this Shadow Fiend. I'm enjoying seeing him just go ham like every game that I've seen him so far. So.
Yeah, he shows his strength very much early in the game and continues that as the game progresses. And you know they had a couple of setbacks at Roshan, but I'm not